Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another trader interview. Today is going to be a very interesting one. I'm actually with someone named Chad. He's been in the game for 20 years now, if I'm not mistaken.
20 years, yeah, a little
20
more.
years, awesome. And what I do is I basically speak with traders who have successfully reached a payout and kind of break down their process, the journey that they went through, and the setbacks they experienced. And basically what made it click for them finally to actually start going on this journey. So, Chad, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, how long you've been trading, and why you actually got into it?
Yeah, I started around the dot-com bubble era, started just trading basic stocks and whatnot. Eventually got into options, and then ultimately moved over to the futures space because that traded 23/5 around the clock. So, and it was just a deeper liquid market. So I really enjoyed the futures space the most. Like you said, Ethan, I've been doing it for over 20 something years now.
That's
So
amazing. And
I'm
you're doing this in New York, right?
Yeah, I'm in New York, upstate New York, so been there my whole life and that's it.
I'm sure people ask you this a lot, or actually maybe not, but have you ever been to, like the Wall Street,
Yeah.
where the
Oh
where
yeah.
the magic happens?
Yeah. Yeah, they sell these little guys down on
Oh,
Wall
that's
Street.
sick. The
So
bullish market.
yeah.
That's
And you
awesome.
go and visit the bull down on Wall Street. There's a
Oh,
bunch
that's
of
so
street
sick.
vendors down there, and everybody's getting their picture taken, and it's quite the scene and pretty iconic. So even though the futures market is primarily traded in Chicago these days,
Yeah.
it's kind of just a sight to see, to be there in New York and see all that. So recommend it if you ever get the chance.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to go, even though yeah, I'm not as experienced as you, but it's like I've seen all those movies, so I for sure want to
Yeah.
go see it, and it's for sure magical. But let's talk about the payout right now as well. Regarding our firm, you actually just got a payout. And do you mind if I disclose the amount that you just paid out?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I believe it was 3.3 that you actually got a
Yeah,
payout for, right? Like fully into
correct.
your account. Awesome.
Yep, everything
Now,
all the way through.
yeah, and what did you think about the whole process getting there? I know it was a bit unorthodox, but you got the money in your account. So,
Yeah, I mean there was nothing wrong with it. I mean, once you get to the payout threshold and you meet everything, all of it went through pretty quickly there near the end. So nothing negative to say about the payout process. The money went through without any problems.
100%. And again, you've been in the market or you've been in the game for 20 years. How do you feel even after many, many payouts?
Any payouts is a good day. I mean, I think you got to really stay humble in this business. So often I'll tell aspiring traders that you have to trade against the challenge itself and not your ego, right? So your ego is what's going to kill you. And a lot of these challenges for any of the prop firms, Futures Elite is the one that I chose and participated in. So their largest account, if I'm not mistaken, is a 150K account. I won't trade more than a single lot most times. So
Right.
the key is really just comes down to risk management. Everything is about risk management. So keeping the position size super small, right? So it would be rare that I would ever go a full contract, more than a single full contract, right? In fact, I'm more likely to trade micros, even on the 150K accounts where they're giving you, 6,000 of drawdown. So I really think if I had any piece of advice, keep the position size small and don't let your ego get in the way. So
Yep.
I'm Italian myself, and then so that's something I've kind of fought with, right?
Yeah.
So not letting my ego get in the way is it was one of the biggest challenges to overcome. And by no means do I think I'm there yet, right? This trading journey is such an introspective battle and just learning about yourself. That is really where the money is made. Okay. It's not, I can tell you my technical setups are, playing things off VWAP or ICT concepts or fair value gaps or single prints or any of these technical things. It's really not going to help you get to a payout. What's going to help you is knowing yourself, knowing when to be aggressive, and then when to say, no, I'm wrong. I'm actively monitoring the position, close the position, right? And you should actively be monitoring every open position at all times. is just solid trading advice I'm sure you've heard of 100 times before this. So don't let your ego get in the way and keep your position sizing super small. And this is what I'm doing even on the largest available accounts they offer. Right. So to me, like, I don't even know what the max number of contracts you could trade is on these accounts because I would never get to that point. It just seems crazy that someone would go max contract size. So stay small, trade your plan, know when you're wrong, get out, don't let your ego get in the way. These are the things that'll get you to the payouts in the end.
Awesome. That's great. That's actually very great advice. And I love how you position that because it was a bit different from how others would position it. Everyone has their own take on it. So that's awesome that you kind of said it that way.
Yeah.
Now, so in terms of like the actual system itself and, like the whole platform, like what do you just think about it in terms of that?
I thought that, signing up and the price points for the accounts, the drawdowns, I thought all that was very fair. I can tell you there's a very passionate team behind Futures Elite, and maybe that kind of thing is good in my opinion. I think that they'll push to drive the company to succeed. But in terms of the setup, onboarding, even now, I just did my first payout with them and didn't have any issues. So, all in all, from a technical standpoint, I think everything went fine. Yep.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, because then the reason why I ask, and like I told you earlier, is because so many traders who actually get into this game and try, going the prop firm route, they actually have a doubt and they need reassurance. Are they actually going to get the payout? Am I getting scammed? Am I not? Like it's just that, we're basically preventing you a heart attack by actually asking you
Right.
this. So I'm glad
Yeah.
we did, and I'm glad you think that. Now, is this your first account with Futures Elite, or have you had other ones or multiple at the
I
moment?
have a couple accounts. This is the first
Okay.
one that I have requested a payout from. And, like I said, everything went fairly smoothly. And, you got to do your due diligence too at the same time and understand the rules, read the fine print. I'm very meticulous when I participate in these programs. And I like to know every detail down to the smallest, thing. So I take notes on them all. We keep records of everything. So all of that is just part of my process. I'm not someone that's just winging it, right? Like rolling the dice. Everything's very calculated, and I think you need that because if you ever get in a situation and you got to be able to back up your case, right? And you got to have evidence of what you did and why you did it. I know Futures Elite will conduct a risk assessment, so you got to be able to explain your position. And honestly, you should be conducting a risk assessment on yourself anyway before you even start trading. So none of this should be new. I think it's welcomed. So no
Awesome.
problem there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, after saying that, would Futures Elite be a good starter prop firm to go to for beginners at least? Just mess around because I know we have the custom accounts as well. It's very
Yes.
flexible in that way.
Yeah, I love that personally. Like if I could really give some positive feedback to futures, it is I love that custom as accounts thing because there's just you can play with different price points. You can, set up an account to be exactly how you like. And that I thought was unique to them across, when compared to a lot of the other prop firms out there, you basically are getting a static thing. But I felt like when I did a custom account, I really understood it almost better because it's walking you through, all right, what do you want your, the account drawdown to be? Do you want to participate in news events? Yes or no? Do you want 0, 7, 21-day payout windows? Like you get to pick all this really cool stuff. And I thought that that was something that really set them apart. So I would say kudos to them for going that route. It was definitely appealing to me. And arguably, it was the reason that I first initially signed up to give them a try. I'll try them. If you receive a payout, that's kind of your double confirmation that you can move forward with them. And ultimately, I hope to, get converted to a live account and start making real money with them. Yeah.
100%. No, I'm glad you
Yeah.
said it. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Chad. That was pretty much all the questions I've had today for you. And again, we are constantly evolving. So any feedback you have for us, please let us know what can we do better and what does the users actually like from us. And we'll
Yeah.
push more of that out. So awesome. Thank you
Sounds
so
good,
much for your
Ethan.
time, though. We'll see you guys
Yeah.
later in the next interview. Chad, thank you again so much. It was very awesome to hear this interview.
Yeah. All right. Take care, guys.
Awesome. Take care.